Hello and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place where we share creative and inspiring learning in our schools. Season 2, Episode 28. Hello and welcome back to the Education on Fire podcast with me, Mark Taylor. It's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, and in just over a week, our Year 6 children will be doing their assessments, their SATs assessments. And I just wanted to come on and just chat briefly about that and give you as a teacher some support about what to do in this coming week. I know there are lots of schools who turn around and say the SATs aren't important and we just focus on the children, but we have to do it. But then at the same time, spend most of the year actually practicing them and their whole focus being on that thing. Even my daughter, she's only in year 5, but she came out with a comment which worried me slightly the other day when she was saying, this time next year, I'm going to be stressed because I've got my SATs, which opened up a whole conversation about how we think about them, how they fit in our lives, what they're for, and who benefits from them, and a conversation about the government's ideas of assessment and all that kind of thing. But it just got me thinking about what can we do to support children just in these final week or so before the assessments start. And I came up with a couple of things which I thought would be important to me if I was a child back at that time. And I think the first thing for me would be just to feel like I'm an individual, and actually being myself, being my unique self is important, and maybe just finding out one piece of information that you didn't know about a child, to make it personal, to make it feel like that they're not just one number, not within your class, but also not one number within the entire UK when they start seeing on the news and hear people talking about how the results are in league tables across the country. Bring it right back to the individual person. Find out something that you didn't know before. Just take that time to connect on a one-to-one basis and find out something you didn't know before, which might just open up a conversation, which just will change the feel of this week before the assessments start. And I think that will just change the edge and the understanding and the feeling for the children. And it's the feeling which is the most important thing. And the other thing is that we know that the assessments are there and the levels are there, which are sort of government levels, which are there to give people an idea of where you should be based on what someone else thinks is the main objective. And we know that these things change year on year and government to government. And while I don't disagree with assessment per se, because if we don't know what we've achieved and we don't know what we've done and we don't know what we do and don't understand, then how can we progress? Children love to learn to read and to write because it enables them to do all sorts of things that they do, even if they maybe don't like doing it in the format of the current system. But being able to find something positive that a child has managed to achieve while they've been in your class this year, not based on whatever the level is on a SAT, but actually to be able to turn around and say, I've really been impressed this year because you managed to achieve X, or this is where you were doing something a few months ago and this is where you are now. This is what I've noticed. And it can be, work or academic related, but it might be sport related. It might be music related. It might be they've developed emotionally and they've been able to help somebody out, maybe supported someone in their class, or just found something within them which you just have noticed and want to impart. Because often we don't share that. We sort of tell our colleagues in the staff room, or we sort of come home and tell our spouses or someone at home and just sort of say, I've had a really good day because so and so's done this. But how often do we actually tell the children? How often do we manage to spend that time to have that extra bit of conversation and just have that one-on-one time? And I think if anything can be achieved in this next couple of weeks while these assessments are going on and everyone's a hive of activity with a focus on something external, I think bringing it back this week to the individual, having those conversations. What's the positive thing that you've noticed? What's the thing that they've progressed with which you really, really would like to impart? And I just think that's going to make such a difference to that child in terms of how they feel this week leading up to it, and also absolutely know that when they look back in 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time, the thing they'll remember about their year 6 isn't going to be what level they got in their assessment, because I'm sure most people can't remember, or even know for that matter, but what they will remember is that time and interest and personal one-on-one communication they had with you, that special teacher during that very special year, where the excitement should be being the oldest in the school, the ability to feel like you're grown up, your chance to be supportive to the younger people and all the real benefits, things that they can do. And there's still time to do that for the rest of the year. And why not do it now before these assessments, rather than wait until the assessments are gone and out of the way, and then we focus on the fun stuff afterwards. Let's start today. Let's do those two things and see if we can support our children and support ourselves to realise that it reconnects with us as a teacher, that actually we know the most important thing are the children, and also how we feel as teachers and what we can impart. So I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to make a difference to every person I speak to and try and find out something new about them, and also give them a piece of feedback of something I think they've progressed in, which has really affected me, and I hope that affects them. So I wish you a very good, positive week, and for the rest of the week, you'll hear me chatting to Peter Cancel when we talk about our Season 2 and our tech and our roundup of everything that's gone on, and from a head teacher's point of view, how we can support you to maybe get some of these ideas into your schools, or certainly to support you. So I thank you for listening, and I wish you the very best. Thank you for listening to the Education on Fire podcast. For more information, please go to educationonfire.com.